Okay, guys, we are going to go through reducing fractions again, and I know that you guys have done it a bit, but I do want to re-emphasize that this is a really, really important skill, and it's something that you guys are going to use throughout your time in math. So I just wanted to go over it again. We're going to do a couple more problems. We're going to make them a little more complicated today. So again, we're reducing fractions. When you reduce fractions, you always need to divide. Do the same thing to the numerator as you do to the denominator. And you're going to divide until you get into lowest terms, which means you can, at the end, you will only be able to divide our numerator and denominator by 1. Okay, so here is our first problem. Let's do 56/84. Okay, this one looks a little tricky. So, and remember, you don't have to take this all off in one bite. I mean, if you think about a giant piece of pizza, you would never take that in one giant bite. So take small bites out of it to make these numbers a little bit more workable. So if we look at this, I could say that I know they're both divisible by 2. So half of 56, so I know half of 50 is 25, half of 6 is 3, so 25 plus 3 is 28. And then let's do half of 84. So half of 80 is 40, half of 4 is 2, so 42. Now these numbers are looking a little bit more workable. Now 28 is one we don't see all that often in terms of our answers to our 1 through 12 facts. So I know that 7 times 4 is 28. So I'm going to look at the bottom and say, can 7 go into 42? Yes. So I'm going to divide top and bottom by 7. So 28 divided by 7 is 4. 42 divided by 7 is 6. Are we at lowest terms yet? No, we are not. So we can divide this by 2 and the denominator by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now am I in lowest terms? Yes, 2 and 3 are only divisible by 1. So 2/3 is our lowest terms. Okay, so that one was pretty tricky. Let's try another one. What if we had 35/70? So 35 and 70. Now, there's a couple different approaches to this one. 35, I know that 7 times 5 is 35. They end in 5 and 0, which means I know that I could divide these by 5. Cool, we can do that. So let's divide them by 5. 35 divided by 5 is 7. 70 divided by 5. So if we count by 5s, or if we break this out, I know 50 plus 20 is 70. So 5 goes into 50 10 times, 5 goes into 24 times. So 14. Are we at lowest terms yet? No, we can divide this by 7 and this by 7. So 7 divided by 7 is 1. 14 divided by 7 is 2. And lo and behold, we're in lowest terms. So 1/2. Okay. So when you get these bigger numbers, don't panic. Just take little bites out of them. Sometimes that's the best way to get numbers that are going to be a little more familiar. So take smaller bites. Don't try to take it all in one big gulp. Let's do, 64/96. So 64 and 96, I could divide these by 2 because they're both even. 64 divided by 2, so half of 60 is 30, half of 4 is 2, so 32. Oh, half of 90 is 45, plus half of 6 would be 3, so I'd have 48. Now, let's see, I could, ooh, look at this. I know that 8 goes into both of these. Let's divide that by 8 and divide this by 8. 32 divided by 8 is 4. 48 divided by 8 is 6. Are we in lowest terms yet? Oh, not yet. So these are both even. I'm going to divide them by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now we're in lowest terms. Okay. So my hint for these is take them into smaller bits. When you see these bigger numbers, don't panic. Just take smaller bites out of them. If they're both even, try dividing by 2. That's my first go-to, especially when I see these bigger numbers. So they're not all, not necessarily the ones that you're going to see today on your work is going to be, they're not all going to be big numbers. Some of them will be, some of them won't. But I just wanted to make sure that we went over finding some of the lowest terms with larger numbers. So what you're going to do now, video is over. I'm going to have you head back to Google Classroom, check out the board notes, work on your worksheet and your fast check. When you're done with those, when you're done with both of them, make sure you submit them. If you have any questions, or if you need some help or want me to run through some more problems with you, I'm happy to do it. Just check in during office hours and I'll be happy to help you. Until next time, guys, see you later.